These refractors lie in ancient ruins underground and in the sea, and are sought out by explorers called diggers.
Alright, I don't know if I'm live yet. If I'm live yet, cool, let me know, someone. Oh, there we go. I can see my game on screen now. I see it loading up. Okay. What's up, everyone? This is Mega Man Legends. I believe the incentive was specifically for the English version, so y'all are going to miss out on some cool cutscene skip tech, but I will talk about it a little bit. I am going to be running easy mode, and there's a few cool things that easy mode does that normal mode doesn't, that I'll talk about as I go through. But let's get started here. So the first cool thing that you'll see here is I'm actually going to stop and equip some stuff before I even start moving after that jump. More importantly, this Buster Max and the roller skates. So the cool thing that those do for us this early in the game is lots of extra movement, and I don't believe you actually get the Buster Max any other way, so you'll see what the Buster Max does here when I get to a boss in just a moment. But we are slightly different, or this is slightly different than your typical Mega Man game. If you're not familiar with Mega Man Legends, it's kind of like an RPG style game, and instead of going after robot masters, we are what's called diggers, and that gives us this really cool backdrop for us to be able to go through like Zelda-style dungeons. But this is kind of like the end of the Mega Man timeline canonically. So there's a lot of things that are pretty different. So here you're going to see actually why the Buster Max is so cool. So my lemons were like cantaloupes there. So there's a lot of exposition that we have to skip here for frame saving. But basically what happened there was Mega Man and his not quite defined sister slash possibly love interest role are going into that water tower in order to try to retrieve the blue refractor, which you see in the very first cutscene. And refractors are those like rupee-looking things in the game that serve as this game's currency and form of energy. So we needed to get that, I'm assuming, for money because that's our job. And when we got to the end there, we were attacked by that lovely guy who decided it was a fun time to destroy or try to hit us, and then we escape on our houseboats. Or the Flutter, which is the house that they live in, but also their ship. That 100 Zenny was for nothing. That was just me clicking the wrong button. But this is kind of where the story is going to diverge from the normal Mega Man Legends, you know, a little bit. Yes, I actually normally play Rockman Dash. So there's a few differences that I'll talk about in a minute. But this is going to be the first kind of out of the ordinary thing, and I might struggle with it a little bit because it is a little bit of a temperamental trick. I had it and I clicked the wrong button. So that's a quick time to talk about one of the big things that is different between Japanese and English, and that's the confirm and cancel button. The Japanese version is so much better for that because your confirm button is circle and your cancel button is X. Wherein triangle is in this one and is also your special weapon button. So it causes issues. So we're going to try this again. Doing that very deliberate because I'm not used to this version, so apologies for the slowness there. But we're actually going to completely skip a section here. So normally you aren't meant to be able to get up here. It's above Mega Man's current jump height. You normally need the jump springs, which we don't have yet. But because if you pause the game and change your Buster during a damage animation, such as an explosion, when you're inside of the hitbox for it, what happens is you pause the game, change the state of your buster, and then it hits you with the explosion again. So as long as you're at the top of Mega Man's jump there and inside of the explosion, if you change your buster like I did, then it will actually kind of trigger the animation again, which sends you up and gives you a little bit more distance on your jump. The advantage to that is it skips the whole section where you have to go and rescue the junk shop owner. It skips you getting the mines. It skips a few other kind of inconsequential things, including us getting the support car. But you'll see that kind of, now that Mega Man's become a criminal and kind of skipped immigration into Cadillacs, we go to a life of crime. So that dog that you see there, that's Paprika. And if we were playing on the Japanese version, I could skip this whole section by just kicking Paprika. So this whole cutscene on the Japanese version can be skipped. On the English version, I have to just kind of deal with it.
Hey, hold on. Down, boy. Down.
So that's a whole about 15 seconds that the English version is already slower. On top of the fact that just the Japanese text is much shorter. But that's okay. I haven't played through the English version in a little bit, so it's good to keep me on my toes. Oh, Tron Bon is actually probably the best character in this game. The Bonds really are like the highlight of this game, and it's a shame that the speedrun doesn't see much of their charm. Fun fact, if you actually get in front of Roll in that scene, and she hits into you, she has the same physics as a car. You will actually take damage. So conceivably, you could have Roll kill Mega Man in that instance. So these are the Bloom Bears. They toss a key around, but their pattern is always the same. So they will always toss to the blue one first. And this is Feldinot, or in the Japanese version, Ferdinand. And Ferdinand has a nice little weak point right there on her leg, where you can just stun lock her like that. This is City Hall. Casually, City Hall sucks. In a speedrun sense, City Hall sucks. City Hall just kind of sucks. It's very RNG dependent. You have two different types of enemies here. You have these ground units, and then you have the flyers like those guys. You're not supposed to take damage there, unfortunately. Or there. But I'm not concerned, so I'm going to actually take this guy out since he's this close. Ideally, you want to not do that. You want to get the flying guy first. I've lost track of one of them, so now I'm a little lost, but we'll make up for it. There he is. No, there's still another one. Where did he go? There he is. This is why City Hall can suck a little bit, because of the randomness. I just didn't particularly recover from it well. And that's why we want to try and be a little faster with City Hall. You need to take the flyers out first, otherwise they run away and get more of the tanks. And the tanks waste time because it just spawns more enemies and you have to clear the whole screen in order for our next guest to show up. It is easily the worst member of the Bond family. Unless you're counting by voice actors, then it's Teasel, but it's Bon Bon, and Bon Bon is a little bit of a butthole, but he's also pretty easy. And that's City Hall complete. Alright, so now, effectively what's happened there in the game is we've learned that there were pirates on Cadillacs, which is the island we're on, and that those pirates, of course, end up being the Bond family. And we found out that they were starting to plan to attack City Hall. So when we go into downtown, we already catch them in the act, which is where we take out the Bloom Bears and Ferdinand. Then we go to City Hall, where they give us a digging license, which lets us get into subgates, which are kind of the main dungeons of this game. But we also learn that Teasel is trying to dig into one of the subgates after a treasure called the Mother Lode. Oh, I screwed that up. That's not good. Okay, so there is a spot there where you can get a quick kill on him. I didn't quite get it because I messed up the timing, but I should be able to back up right here. Okay, we got the backup strat, so it's all good. So this is where we kind of start to see the real, actual brokenness of the Buster Max, because I didn't even have to go closer to Teasel in order to hit him. I could stand here, where in casual plays you would normally go up there where that tank is and try to jump on his back. So it saves a lot just there. But the next time we see the bonds, I'll also be kind of exploiting the Buster Max too. So it really is OP. It kind of, I always refer to it in my streams as Mega Man's plot armor.
Roger.
So I literally equip the plot armor, and then, yeah, we're good to go. So you'll see we have managed to come across the support car that we definitely weren't given by the junk shop owner's wife, because we definitely didn't help the junk shop owner. So yeah, we just maybe acquired this through nefarious ways. Okay. I am gonna go talk to Data for a quick second. This is Data. He's how you save your game. You don't really interact with them a whole lot in the game, especially in the speed run, I mean. The real plot armor is the fantastic polygonal hair. It really is. Tron's hair is like, she's like Hey Arnold's head, basically. She's football hair. So, now that Roll's given us a walkie-talkie, she acts as our fast travel, and also item development. We're going to see another example here of why roller skates are broken early. Normally, you would have to start going through Carden Forest and trying to go and get, like, guide roll through a tank section. But with roller skates, I can just, you know, pretend that walls aren't there. And we can just slip through. And would you look at that? We're in the first subgate. This place is why I hate having the triangle button as my cancel button, because the text boxes here, I always forget how many there are. So I always end up using kicks or mines here. Yeah, so this is the Carden Forest subgate. And the subgates all kind of follow a similar pattern, wherein you... Oops, that's not supposed to happen. Wherein you kind of go through a small dungeon area, and you try to find 3 MacGuffins. In the case of this one, it is 3 starter keys. So we can find the refractor. And it's basically your Legend of Zelda formula.
I wasn't used to being a spotter, and you ended up getting lost underground for 3 days. Remember?
There's still time when I'm getting used to the swapped buttons, so I apologize if I lag on menus for a second. That's literally me just trying to remember that I have to press X instead of circle. So we are currently waiting on that chest. We can't do anything until we get it, because it's got our first MacGuffin. So if you want to read a donation, you probably have enough time to do that right now.
Did you find anything? I'm picking up a faint signal. That must be the starter key. Keep looking. There's probably a few more lying around somewhere.
Okay, so gotta go through this again. So that spring set is handy because it lets us get a higher jump. We're also going to find probably the best puzzle that's not really a puzzle in the game that I still manage to consistently screw up sometimes. You just basically have to press 3 buttons and not get hit by the glowy walls of doom. So we managed it, although I missed the key with my wild driving.
That's it. Now you should be able to access the console.
Okay, so just like that, we are through subgate number 1. This game is nice in that the first subgate doesn't have a boss, so it just kind of makes life easy on you. So now we've got a yellow refractor, which we will go show to roll. Alright, so what we found out there from roll is it can definitely be used to fix something, but not enough to fix the flutter. So we need to go find something that conceivably could benefit from being fixed. I would love to see them remake this game. I've actually seen some people in the Mega Man Legends Discord, Mega Man Legends speedrunning Discord, who 3D print like actual characters, and I know someone has printed Tron specifically. So we just did 2 things there. One, we got Roll to drive us downtown, and then we went through a door to Uptown, so now she's our Uptown girl. We equipped the jump springs that she just made for us, and now we're going to Wiley, yes, that Wiley's boat shop. And you'll see right there, Wiley. Now, he said all of the boats are broken. It'd be pretty convenient if we had the exact thing that would fix that problem, right? It's okay, Kong. Game uses in-game timer, so for my purposes, it's okay. For the purpose of the run, I can guesstimate how far in, and I think your timer is pretty close to right. Alright, so this is the worst possible section in this game. Welcome to the boat section. Alright, so the boat auto-scroller. This is the pathway to the next subgate on Lake Jun. You can see it right there. And we are attacked by the Bonds. This time they've brought the Navy with them and a little bit of the Air Force. So this is a pretty big auto-scroller that honestly is just me gunning down boats. I guess I can just, try to stay afloat while we do this. Oh, that's a paddling.
Don't relax yet, Mega Man. I'm getting multiple signals on my sonar. There's a lot of little signals coming from around this ship.
Mega Man, above us! I know they're behind us this time.
They're above us!
Oh no, it is above us. See, I should have trusted myself. Can you tell I've done this a little bit? These guys take 3 shots to take down, and with my plot armor, they're pretty screwed instantly, so we're good. So in this speedrun, this auto-scroller is great other than the fact that it's just like you sitting there watching your timer increase. Because the Buster Max, you only have to hit them, I think, 5 times for the Buster Max to sink one of those boats. So it trivializes the whole thing. There's no way that you're going to take more damage in the time that you can drop them. So it ends up being a nice break from having to be like on the ball with an action speedrun. But at the same time, casually, this part sucks. Because if you don't know to equip good range on your Buster, you can actually get into a situation where you can't hit the boats until you're like almost right on top of them. And there's a certain encounter that we're about to have that makes that especially annoying.
That's it, Mega Man. Keep it up.
So we're about to come and see my, Yo, Toad22484, thank you so much for the raid. We are doing Feed the Kids in support of hungry kids. I'm currently speedrunning Mega Man Legends on easy mode. We are just about to enter the second subgate. That's my favorite boat. I never take him down. I call him Lil Hustler because he's like the fastest boat of them all. So I always let Lil Hustler live. I'll shoot his one missile that he's going to shoot at me. And then the next boat is going to be right here. And he's gone. And then the next time I have to shoot anything, it's beside me and it's like right here. Again, can you tell I've done this a few times? Alright, not too bad. I think we have one more boat, maybe 2 that we have to take down, but I think that might have been the last one. Yeah.
It looks like we got rid of all their little ships. Wait! I can see it on the sonar. Heads up, Mega Man. Something big's coming this way.
Something big's coming our way, Roll says. This guy. This guy is what makes this suck casually. Casually, if you got beat up by those boats, and you don't have a good way to take care of these missiles, you can get beat up pretty hard here. And you have to go through, I think, 7 or 8 waves of missiles before you can get Roll's prompt here. And unless you actually take advantage of it, you are losing a lot of time. So, fight or retreat. If you pick retreat here, you can go back and heal and save and everything and not have to do the whole boat part again. But if you don't and you die, you have to do it all over again. So there is another way we can take advantage of the Buster Max here. In that we can kill this boss without having to do a second cycle around it. It is a little temperamental, but the basic goal behind it here is I need to line up at a specific spot so that when Mega Man starts turning at the end, my Buster will curve around and hit him in the right arm before I start taking out his butt cannons. Okay, might be good. I think that's good.
You didn't fall off?
So the first lineup was kind of looking down at my boat, and the second one was using my health bar against the horizon there. I think I got it. Yep. So it normally, if you're not quick enough, that core won't show up. And you need that core to show up in order to be able to take that boss out quick. In order for the core to show up, you have to take out the 2 butt cannons and both arms. Because you have to take out both butt cannons and the arms, but the core will only show up if you're in front of the mech. If you're on either side of it, or too far, or if you're directly in back of it, it also won't show up there. So you have a lot of opportunities not to. Sorry. That was a little bit of a revenge vendetta. I hate those guys. It's also going to make it a little easier coming back through. So this is the Lake Jun subgate, and it's kind of a little bit of second verse, same as the first. So we need to find starter keys so we can get a refractor, so we can do the next thing. So we're on the MacGuffin hunt again. As with everything, though, having the boost of this roller skates is nice, because then it means I can just, zoom around. I am going to do a small glitch with the roller skates here. As long as I don't grab a ledge now, when I land, I should immediately start skating, instead of having to do my startup animation like this. It saves about a second. And then I can do the same thing here. So basically, as long as you let go of the buttons before you go off a ledge, the next time you jump and land on the ground, if you hit the button, you'll start skating. This is a suspicious trash can, but we don't have to worry about it. It's just a suspicious trash can. It's okay, because I saw it in meds doing scans, so I'm not worried. Okay. So, again, just don't worry about that trash can. Because, like I said, just a, suspicious trash can, nothing to worry about. You can do that with or without skates. So the way that boss works, we call him Dorito King, because it's way easier to pronounce than whatever name they actually gave him. But the Dorito King triggers by walking into that very first square in front of his door after you've collected the red refractor. But if you can shoot over that without triggering it, so if you can go over it fast enough, it won't actually start the fight. And because every other square in that floor is good, you can basically zip right past it and keep going. So I lined up specifically before I took that door, so I knew I would have the right clearance in order to get around it, and then avoid triggering that boss fight. That was a case of me getting messed up by my buttons. Thanks for the boat, Dr. Wowie. I'm gonna go look for bass now. We're going to talk to Data and heal again. even though I know I'm gonna get a free heal as soon as I talk to Roll, or gonna get a free opportunity again as soon as I talk to Roll. So now that we've got the yellow rupee, Roll is able to fix the flutter mostly. So now the flutter kind of serves as our home base of operations. So it's not 100% fixed, but we can use it to get to the last subgate conveniently. But she wants me to go talk to Gramps. But before I do that, I'm gonna go root through his Vietnam flashback chest and see if I can find anything cool. Oh, that's a pretty cool thing to find. I'll remind you that Mega Man is a teenager in this iteration. I don't care if he's a super fighting teenager, he's still a teenager. It's just faster to basically, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Gramps, it's fine, okay. Why didn't we leave him in a home is basically the gist of it, I think. So now we need to go to the R&D room. And we need to specifically do that so we can get Roll to develop those schematics that we found. And it's important because we need it for one specific thing. Alright, I need to talk to her again. Okay, well, I definitely didn't want to do that. We just took a loop around Roll for no reason. I need to actually go to the subgate. So we're on our third subgate. Our final MacGuffin hunt, maybe. I did that for a very specific reason. Basically, it will store my input for that, so the next time I hold those buttons to look up, I'll actually look up a lot faster. And there's a pretty clear advantage for that we'll see. But this is the Closer Wood subgate. This is the subgate that the Bonds were trying to dig into in the very first encounter with Teasel.
I don't see any. Operations room 2. Emergency system activation requires direct password input from Eden or.
So a fun thing about that cutscene, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it actually kind of makes sense either way. So when Mega Man's kind of struggling to read right there, they had quite a young voice actor playing him, so there were some people who were saying, well, maybe he just was struggling to read the line or deliver it, but also it makes perfect sense if it was done, because it's written in a foreign language that Mega Man doesn't understand why he knows. So it's kind of a nice touch either way. People always harp on this game for its voice acting because it's a little cheesy. But I thought that was a cool touch.
I think I found an ID code.
Good going.
I'll go back to
So in this dungeon, instead of looking for keys to unlock a refractor, we're looking for ID cards to access that machine. So we have 2 out of 3. We also just happen to see this nice looking generator over here that we're going to go and fix because it's totally not going to be important. It's not going to elevate anything. Casually, this used to be one of my least favorite dungeons because I get lost all the time. As a speedrun, it's probably my favorite one now, but I hate the boss. So here's the one room we need the grenade for. Again, casually, this boss kinda sucks.
You know, we go around doing digs all over the place, but is it right? It's almost like stealing.
Yeah, honestly, like, I love everything about this game. It's one of my favorites. Oop.
I'm not picking up any more Reaver bots.
So, I messed that up a little bit, but that AI is so easily exploitable. If you stand basically right on the seam between the walls in front of that door, and like you're directly in the center of that door, they will run and not know how to get you. So they will just literally run in circles. You can also just stand in the right-hand corner of that room and look at the corner and not look at them and throw grenades at the corner, and it will also get them. Because, I don't know, they just don't see you or something. But it's wild how easy to exploit that AI is. There's like 3 or 4 different setups for quick kills on them, and I got none of them. Whoa, Jesus, I took the wrong door. Dang, I was hoping they were going to drop me health. It's okay. I should be able to make it out of here unscathed. I just might have to take a little bit of time here. Okay, that was close. We're home free from here. That was a little scary for a second, though. I got lost. I let my muscle memory kick in for a second. So, we got those 3 ID cards. It confirms that Mega Man is considered a prototype Anthro unit. And we're able to unlock Main Gate. So, we don't really know what that means yet, but let's go find out. Shall we? I hope nothing interrupts our trek to Main Gate. That would be unfortunate. Was it really Sailor Jupiter's voice actor? That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. We're going to take a quick recharge at Data. And we're going to go back to Carden Forest. And it would be a shame if anything were to happen. It's like I'm clairvoyant. This is the Bond's final assault on us, apparently. Okay, so I missed the quick kill on it. I'm going to have to turn around and get that other boat, or that other airship. But it isn't so bad. He went in a good spot for me. So this is like a 4-phase, or a 3-phase fight. That was phase 1. Phase 2, you have to try and take down the wings and the belly of the Gessel shaft. Okay, and then now you have to basically boop its snoot. So I'm going to boop the Gessel shaft in the snoot.
Another hit? What kind of firepower are they packing on that little ship?
Alright, we got him.
Mission complete.
Now, this fight is annoying. I hate it. That's why I hate it. Come on. This fight is consistently rough, but it was worse because I was on low health and I wanted to make sure I didn't, lose. So, took that one a little rough, but it's okay. So I could go into Roll's room right now and heal. But I want to get to main gate anyway, and it actually, if you go into Roll's room right there, it triggers a scene where basically Mega Man sees Roll changing. And unfortunately, that's a pretty slow cutscene. Also, you don't see anything. Like, it's just a black screen with text. So it's not even a funny cutscene at that, really. Okay, so we've healed, we've come back, we're at main gate. You know what? Because it's a marathon thing, I'm going to take the time and talk to this guy over here, if it'll let me. There we go. We adopted the pet cat to bless the end of the run. Someone named the cat in chat.
Mega Man,
What are we calling it?
I don't like the looks of this place.
Bonus points if it's a pun somehow.
It's a spiral, and it goes down a long way too.
Data is such a happy mood. Data is the best. Alright, so we need to unlock the final dungeon, which is kind of a set of 3 small dungeons. So we do that, but first, there's a boss here who I can't really talk about. Perfecto, I love that. Spartacus cat. So if you've played this game, you know why I can't talk about this boss. If you haven't played this game, I blame that Disney movie Encanto. Oh, jeez. So this is Bruno. We can't talk about Bruno because we don't talk about Bruno. But Bruno's not too bad. And then I'm just going to blow a hole in this fence for no reason. I feel like there was not enough damage done by the bond, so I just had to add to it a little bit. That's not at all, so I can just skate through it right now. Totally wasn't for my purpose. It was for tax write-off. We were helping this company out, right? I don't encourage or promote those actions, just for the record. Alright, I'm gonna see if he drops me health just for comfort. I always forget to do this one. Health, please? Wow, y'all are being stingy with your health drops. So this is the first of the sub-cities. The sub-cities hold 3 kind of MacGuffin keys that I need in order to get to the final, or get through the final dungeon. Okay, good, he died. Okay, I need you to drop me health, please. Thank you. Someone listens. Alright, so we've got the Watcher.
Got it.
We need the Watcher, Sleeper, and Dreamer keys in order to get to the final dungeon. Tell me that doesn't unlock an Edgelord's. Yeah, so the grenades will break the fence. Today you learned. Happy I could teach you. Support car. We want to go to downtown. Yeah, I mean, Bruno can be a challenge. Like, even casually, like, Bruno is a really hard boss. Speedrun-wise, he can be a challenge because if he hits you real hard. Bruno's not a gentle boy. Bruno didn't learn how to use his play hands. He only learned how to use his hurt hands. Okay, so these green lobster, or these red lobster guys suck. I've never been to a red lobster, like an actual red lobster like the restaurant, but I don't know if they suck, but if they suck as much as those guys do. I know I missed at least one. Oh, Jesus! That scared the hell out of me. Okay, now I just gotta go find the other guy who's usually way over here. So again, this is another one that it's not particularly hard, but once you lose track of them, they get real out of hand easy, and you can end up losing a lot of time like I am right now. So because that guy snuck up on me... There he is. That's weird that he didn't travel out that far. Wow, you're just being a little troll. Yeah, so they are by far the most threatening enemy in the end game. They will end your game faster than anything else because they hit you hard and they hit you fast.
That's two.
Now, the last one isn't so difficult as it is just tedious. The last one is what I would call kind of like the boss of the sub-cities. So here is the third and final sub-city. A thing that I learned that I didn't know until I started speedrunning this, if you don't kill all of those things before you kill the boss, you still have to go back and kill them. Like, it won't actually end the sequence until you do. I've also never had it take that much time at the start, so it was a little bit rough on the fight. But basically, we just have to shoot this guy in his butthole until he blows up. So we're just accelerating his Taco Tuesday. We're pre-gaming Taco Tuesday for him. We're literally blowing him a new ass. But basically, we follow him in circles and shoot him in the butt until we blow up the entire body. He's kind of like the Reaver Butt Centipede. Almost there. You got this. Taking him to his Taco Tuesday. Oh, you fool.
sounded like a door. There. This should be the last.
This is not the worst fight against the trains here. Yeah. That's fair. How many of those trains did you shoot in the butthole until it blew up, though, is the question. Alright, so we're gonna go get Roll to drive us around town. Roll is basically our chauffeur for this entire game. She's also annoying as hell, though, so I don't mind making her my chauffeur. Alright, so we're in the main gate. This is our last descent through main gate. You'll get to see some buttery smooth rotations. Main gate is so pleasing to run through once you get used to the roller skates, because it's a big spiral with 2 jumps. So the first thing I normally look for here is the door. So I found the first door. I know as soon as I round this corner I need to stop and jump over those guys. You're supposed to round that corner a little better, but I didn't. Also, I always forget that it's supposed to be here. But again, another set, just jump over those guys. Yeah, Legends 2, I haven't gone back to it in a while. I do want to play it casually soon, so it will happen. But I've been going through and playing every different version of this game. There were a surprising amount of releases of this game. It came out on PSP in Japan. There's a PC version. There is the PS1 version, the N64 version. So I've been kind of running through all the different versions of that. I still have to run through the N64 version, which... Whoa, that was a little aggressive, don't you think there, bud? Can't say enough good things about Misadventures of Tronbon, though. If you haven't played Tronbon, do yourself a favor, play Tronbon. It is such a fantastic game. Just, it's super chill, and it features the, like, it follows the Bonds, and the Bonds are easily the best characters. Ooh, I don't want to save. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will save. We'll do a safety save. Not that I think anything's gonna happen, but also gives me a rough idea of where I'm at time-wise, I guess. So we're gonna pull off the last glitch of the game here. Did it follow me in? Nope, okay. Alright, so, by doing that, totally trivializes this fight. So basically what happened there was because I froze, or because I got hit while I was in a menu, and it ended up bumping me to a higher plane on the map. The game thinks I'm on a different layer and stuck in the menu, so it doesn't quite register damage to me because it thinks I'm on a layer above the damage. So I can literally just do that. It'll persist until I open a menu, or if I use my special weapon. It is technically faster to fight Juno naturally, but you know, it is what it is. So for the purpose of time, time is when I talk to Roll and say yes on this. And time.
Thank you so
And then we get this lovely unskippable cutscene. Yo, Colin, thank you so much for the GG. So, this is the last and most disappointing thing that's a difference between the Japanese and the English version. But the outro cutscene music in the Japanese version is this absolute banger of a song. Do yourself a favor if you haven't and go look for the Japanese Mega Man Legends or Rockman Dash credit song. It is top tier, top shelf. It is a banger. It gets stuck in my head all the time. This one features a nice little song by the Bonds. But the advantage of showing this cutscene, at least when I stream it normally, is that it lets you get to see the personality of the characters finally.
didn't find out anything about your mom and dad.
Because it's a cutscene that I can't skip.
Well, it can't be helped.
So, the English version gets a song that is like the Bonds. Like, I think there's a part of it that's about the Bonds. I haven't heard the English one in a while, but it's pretty generic, kind of Mega Man Legends-y stuff.
Don't worry about it.
The Japanese version gets this absolute, like, banger Japanese, like, club pop song. The N64 version gets shafted the hardest, though. The N64 version just gets the Apple Market theme. If I can give you one piece of advice, you're either going to love or hate the N64 version. It is a very divisive version. But if this is a game you're interested in running, if you go to the if you go to speedrun.com and go to the Mega Man Legends section, there is a guide there by Blue Metal, who is one of the big figureheads in the community. And Blue Metal has a really good tutorial video for easy mode and normal mode. You can also join the Discord. Most of the music in this game is public domain. That doesn't shock me.
Really nice people.
Love the N64 version growing up. I've never played the N64 version. I recently bought a copy of the Japanese version of it, so I'm gonna do it soon. So, most of the skips and things that I've done are pretty consistent across all versions. So, honestly, for a speedrunning purpose, you're going to have pretty much the same experience no matter which version you play. There are some subtle differences between the N64 version and the PS1 version, just because of how they render things. But for the most part, any of like the skips or tricks that I did are all perfectly possible on any version. The PC version has a few extra tricks that are included because of the way that it's done. The PSP version had the most potential, but in my opinion, the PSP's limitation of only having the one stick and 2 trigger buttons instead of 4 really hinders it. So, in my recommendation, if you're going to pick up any version of the game to play, the PS1 version is probably the best one to go with. Unless you're nostalgic for the N64 version, then you're probably going to have a pretty good time with that one as well. There is a couple glitches that I think might be version specific. There is a glitch that you can do in the fight with Marlwolf, which is the big digging robot. And if you do a few things, you can jump and grab a door. So there are a few glitches, I think, that are specific, but some of them are really high-level jumps. Yeah, so this is the English song where you get the Bonds kind of doing like a freestyle rap almost. But yeah, if this is something you're interested in going in and running, again, there's the Discord. There's a lot of really helpful people there, including myself. Like I said, Blue Metal's the one who does a lot of the guides for it. He's running this in several events and things like that, so he's also a great resource. Honestly, I started about a year ago with this game, just watching his tutorials on YouTube. So it's a fairly easy run. It's not too long. I think even at my longest point, I was still only taking about an hour and a half. So you know, if you're someone who wants to get into speed running, but isn't particularly, you know, I had trouble where if I was committing to a longer run, I would get anxious about it. So this is about the perfect length run for me. If you find that you kind of struggle with the length of runs, I think this is a really good one. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing in this that is not optional, or that are not necessary tricks. They're optional. I think it's a really accessible speed run for people to get into. Like I said, in about a year, I've gone from about an hour and a half completion to almost sub 40. So it's a pretty, you know, good size of time that you can improve with it. I think I have, for the purpose of time, I'm going to go ahead and skip through the rest of this to the cutscene. I can remember my hotkey for it. I don't think I can. I think I de-hotkeyed it because I hit it once. Yo, thank you so much for the shout out. I appreciate that. I do speedruns of this fairly regularly. I try to do it at least once a week. Normally I run the Japanese version, so if you are a fan of the Japanese version, or you just want to see what happens when you skip that cutscene with Paprika, you can hop on over and check there. If you want to see different versions of this game, or some of its sequels or spin-offs, I usually run those as well. But this has kind of been my bread and butter lately, so if you enjoy this game and you want to see more of it, I'd appreciate you hopping on over there. Let me see if I can... I don't want to go into my menu because it'll... I think it's almost over. Just waiting for the thank you Capcom all staff, which should be coming up soon. Unless it's different in English, it's been a minute. Special thanks, there we go. Looks like coming up we have Mega Man 1 through 6. I've actually just been starting to go through those myself as well, so it should be a good time. Any Tron-Bon runs? I'm actually... So I'd started learning Tron-Bon. I think it's probably the next game in the series I want to learn. I've heard that Mega Man Legends 2 is kind of miserable to speedrun until you get good at it. And I'm not familiar enough with Mega Man Legends 2, so... yeah, Tron-Bon is on my list, so I definitely will be bringing speedruns of that soon. I've been going through Mega Man 1 through 6. I was playing around with learning the Mega Man 1 speedrun, but probably going to stick around to watch the Mega Man 1 through 6 because I think that's pretty awesome to go through them all. I actually thought about doing something similar myself, so I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like all put together. Alright, final cutscene, and the one time in this you'll get to see the Bon's personality shine out.
Well, there they go. Not a care in the world. Hey, Tron, can't this thing go any faster?
No, it can't. I had to gather up all the spare parts from every...
The serve bots are hype.
To build this.
I want
That's right.
I want to get a like 3D printed life-size serve bot.
We sell what we
I think that'd be pretty cool.
what we lost and then some. We'll live like kings.
So, yeah, as you can see, that is the quote-unquote mother load. So the Bonds win in the end.
Tractor down there, and all we
Gotta love a good hero story.
didn't pick it up. I told you we
So my theory is in the speedrun, we're actually the pirates, and the Bonds are part of the military, and then somewhere in between there's kind of like a double turn where we become the face and they become the heel of the professional wrestling industry or event. Okay, so we'll find out in a couple seconds here. They give the worst character the final line. Babu. Alright, let's see what that final time was. Oh yeah, no, I'm a big wrestling nerd. I make tons of wrestling references all the time. If you like wrestling stuff, hit that follow button on my channel. Hey, 48 minutes flat. Not my best time, but I'll take it. It was under an hour, which was what I quoted. Alright. That is my time. Thank you so much, everyone who watched. Thank you to everyone who donated for the bid war to get the English version. Thank you so much, RGL, for having me on this event. And hope you all have a great time at the rest of the event. Let's keep raising money to feed those kids.